Good evening, welcome to Interesting Talks with Footprints. I hope your glass is half full rather than half empty. Thank you for new listeners that are tuning in today and viewers. And thank you for the regulars that have been here all the time. Really do appreciate you. Really do appreciate your comments. And like 2 weeks ago's talk on happiness really went down well. We had loads of views, loads of comments. Please keep it up. Because the more people that watch the channel, the more the views go up and the more this channel gets recognized. And we've been in this for 4 years, so those that have been here from the beginning, we're growing together. Now today's talk is about motivation, self-motivation. It's a really popular topic. It comes up from time to time in different discussions that I have with clients and different discussions that I have with friends and even my own self-talk. How motivated am I to do the things I need to do on a day-to-day basis, month-to-month basis, yearly basis, to achieve my goals for what is obviously what we're all looking for, is a better quality of life. Now, sometimes motivation is really difficult to do. And I've been finding that with some of my clients recently and some people that I know. They've lost their motivation. I suppose, what do they call it? They've lost their swirl, or they've lost their swerve, what people say, something like that. But you can get it back. Some of the ways you can get it back, so I'm going to try to note them down today here with you. So try to listen to the end so you get all the points what I'm trying to put across on how to self-motivate yourself. Now, a lot of the things what we do in that day-to-day life are quite mundane, boring, absolutely, they don't motivate us at all. So some of those things are including of actually going to work. And I'll start with work, because if you're really unmotivated at your work and your work brings you down a lot, then it's time to start thinking about changing that job into something that you are motivated to go and do, that you do feel valued, that you do feel that you're helping out in the world, making the world a better place, plus getting paid for it. Or you're doing something that you find interesting and also getting paid for it. If it's a mundane task that you really do hate, really do dread, then maybe it's time to start looking for a new job, or retraining yourself, or even moving about in the company. There are options that you can look at, and this will obviously change your motivation on a day-to-day basis. And just to mention that, there's a fellow speaker of mine that I really admire, a guy called Les Brown, and he did a talk about how in America the majority of people have heart attacks around 4 a.m. Sunday morning to 6 a.m. Monday morning. And he says what it is because the stress that they're living under of going back to work on a Monday morning after the weekend is so detrimental on them that they actually physically have a heart attack, and some of them die, obviously. Heart attacks is not an easy thing to survive, especially if you're at home at 4 o'clock in the morning. And if you're by yourself, then obviously the chances go down drastically. So he said people are dying, literally dying to go to work. Well, it might be funny and it might sound like a bit of a joke, but at the end of the day, it's true. And if it applies in America, it probably applies in most developed countries and developing countries, because a lot of people really don't like their work and they're really stressed out about it, and it holds them back. And you can change your job. People that have changed their job and gone into something new, they don't have 2 heads, they don't have 2 hearts or 4 pairs of hands. They're just simple people like you and I that decided enough was enough, and they decided to make a change, and the change was to change job, change career, go back to school and learn something. Same thing, if you're studying and you're studying a diploma, a degree, or whatever it is that you're trying to do in college or university, and you're finding it that you just really don't like it, then you've got the option to change your course and do something that you do find motivating for yourself. Life is too short to sit in the lay-by and watch all the traffic go by and think, if only me. Well, only you can be you in that traffic, going in a direction that you find suitable for your lifestyle, suitable for your goals that you want to achieve. Motivation. Another thing about motivating yourself is something that I've discovered is getting up early in the morning and going out in the sunshine. It releases cortisol, ephedrine, and there's another chemical. It's quite gone out of my brain at the moment. But there's 3 major chemicals that are released when sunlight hits your body early in the morning and you stay up, and it gives you a positive outlook for the day. Just a simple thing. Sunshine early in the morning gets you going and motivates you for the rest of the day. Simple. But we don't do it. And of course, we've got a bit of summer now, so it might be a time for some of us to practice. Just, when you get up, brush your teeth, have your shower, whatever, and just go out in the sun before you attempt to go on the tube, the bus, or whatever it is. And if it involves getting up a little bit earlier to have that better feeling about your day and be motivated, then I think it's well worth it. Okay? Another thing what we need to look at is SMART goals. SMART goals that we can achieve within a set task, set time period. Not big, great goals, just small goals that are obtainable, that are measurable, and that we think we could obtain within a day, within a couple of hours of that day. I don't mean to, you need to change everything and try to go for loads of big goals, like you want to, just buy a house by the end of the year or 2 years' time. No, those are big goals that need small incremental steps to get there, but they're big goals and they won't be achieved overnight or in the same day. I'm looking for us to have SMART goals that we can achieve within the day. And some of the ways what I think you could try to do some of these things is, if you get a piece of paper, one of your diaries or your journal, or even just a piece of paper, but ideally a journal or a book that you can keep hold of, and write down 7 things, because they say we can't keep more than 7 thoughts in our head at any particular time for any length of time. So that's something else to bear in mind. We can not keep more than 7 ideas or thoughts in our head at the same time. So if you have a lot of thoughts in your head, things you want to achieve, then write them down on a piece of paper on one side and fold that piece of paper in half, so you can only see the front of that piece of paper. So you've got a piece of paper, you've divided it in 50-50, you write down all the things that you want, 7 things you'd like to achieve, turn it over, and then write down the top 3. And when you work on those top 3, and you look at those 3, it doesn't seem overwhelming because the other 7 are behind it. But those other 7 are there, but you can't see them physically. So you work on the 3. And it needs to be goals that you can work within 1 to 2 hours per day. And if there's only one goal you achieve that day that you've not achieved before, then be quite happy and satisfied that you've managed to achieve that one goal that day. Don't be over ambitious. This is something that we need to practice daily, weekly, monthly and annually, so that we can become better at it. All positive change comes with small increments. That's a given. Small increments make big change. So positive attitudes towards your motivational goals can come from things you've achieved previously. If you look back on things that you've achieved previously and done well at, you can say to yourself, well, at secondary school I actually never thought I could get to A-levels, and yet I got to university and I got a 1-1 or 2-1, doesn't matter, but you achieved something that you thought was unachievable. Now we all do this on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. We have things we think we can't achieve and we achieve them. Now if you do keep a journal, or if you don't keep a journal, doesn't matter, but if you do keep a journal, note down things that you've done in the past that you thought you could never ever accomplish, and you did. That should give you motivational to realize that there are things in your present and in your future that you think you can't do, and you can, because you've done it before. You've got a track record. You've got history to look back on. This is quite a short talk, but I think I might have touched a few points. Hopefully I've got you thinking about what you can change in your life to help self-motivate yourself. All we're looking for is a meaningful, purposeful life that's enjoyable. That's all we want. So until 2 weeks' time, do take care of yourself. Leave comments, share this with people you know. If you've got things that you think that can help motivate people, or what you use to motivate yourself, share it in the comments, because we all learn from each other. No particular one person has got all the answers. It just does not happen. Anyway, so till 2 weeks' time, do take care of yourself. Leave comments, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I hope you have a very, very nice week, 2 weeks coming. Take care. Bye for now.